Okay, so the next section here, 6.2, and we call it recursive sequences. So our goal today is I can determine the recursive formula for a sequence and its terms. So again, if they've given me the formula, it's much easier to find the terms. Going the other way, I have to do a little bit more work. So let's talk specifically about recursive formulas. So a recursive formula defines the sequence where the formula requires the preceding term. So in other words, I need to know the term before the one I want to find in order to do it. Okay, the preceding term is written in the formula as t underscore n minus 1. So if I'm wanting to find, for instance, t2, for instance, so let's find, I'll switch it up here. So if I wanted to find t2, according to this, I would need to know t1. So I would take the value of t1 and add or subtract whatever it asks me to do. So I would need to know the term before. So that's the term before. So if n's the term, n minus 1 is the term before, the preceding term. So let's look at some examples here. It says, write the first 4 terms of each sequence. Now, notice what they've done is they've given me the first term because I need to know the preceding term, the term before. So T1 obviously is 3. T2, according to my formula, says I take the term before, which is T1, and I subtract 2. T3 means I need term 2. I'll just write that down, term 2 minus 2, which would be negative 1. It might be easier to understand it that way. T5, sorry, T4, don't need 5 yet, is I need term 3 minus 2. Term 3 was negative 1, so now I have negative 3. So there's the first 4 terms of that sequence. So if we write them down, that would be 3, 1, negative 1, negative 3. Now you can see some limitations with recursive formulas in the sense that I need to know the term before. Compared to what we were doing the other day, if I asked you to find T10, the formula would find that for me. I wouldn't need to know what the 9th term was. Okay, so here's another formula, another recursive formula. Notice very similar to the one previous. So what we need to do again is T1 is 3. T2 is term 1 plus 2 times the term I'm working with, which has term number 2. Okay, so that's the same as going 3 plus 4, which equals 7. Okay, so you don't have to show all of these steps here by any means. I'm just showing exactly where my numbers are coming from. T3, according to my formula, I need T2 plus 2 times my term number, which is 3. So I have 7 plus 6, so I have 13. T4, it tells me I need the term before that, so I need T3 plus 2 times my term number, which is 4. So I have 8 plus 13, so I have 21. So therefore, the first 4 terms of this one are 3, 7, 13, and 21. All right, the next one is where we have to determine the formula. And they've given us the sequence 3, 5, 7, 9. Now we've looked at this sequence the previous day, but this time they want us to make a formula that's a recursive formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 3 is our first one, right? And so that would be our T1. Our next one, which is T2, has to have 3 in it, and then something has to happen in order for that to equal 5. Okay, so T3 would have to have the term before, which we know is 5, and the same thing happens to equal 7. T4, we know I have to use the term before, which is 7, do something to it, and that has to equal 9. Okay, so what number or numbers do we have to do each time here in order to make this work? Now, I don't know if you remember, well, we discovered that if we took this term and we added 2 each time, it worked. So if I take 3 plus 2, so whatever I'm putting on these blanks here tells me what I need to do for my thing. So plus 2, that works. Plus 2, plus 2. So then how do I write my formula? Well, my formula I have to have is T1 equals 3 because I have to give them that. And I also have to do T of n is going to equal the term before, which is Tn minus 1. And what did we do to the term before each time? We added 2. Okay, so it's that simple. Actually, I think I even had that one up here. Did I not? Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry. I was thinking I did. Okay, so not that difficult actually to do it this way. Not very useful for a lot of application kind of questions. However, you'll see more of a use for it next year. Okay, so some textbooks questions for this section.